Alright, so here's a no-nonsense comparison between the newly released 70mai A510 and the Qubo 3K dash camera. Now why I've selected these cameras is because both the cameras have the same resolution, 1944p at a 4:3 aspect ratio, and they also come at a similar price point. The Qubo dual channel dashcam comes at a price of about 10,500 to 11,000 rupees, and the 70mai A510 dual dashcam comes at a price of 13,000 rupees. So I won't be getting into detail of the technical specifications and the features and waste your time showing you all that, because you can always find that on their own websites or even in Amazon. But what I'm going to show you in this video is going to be a real world practical comparison of their video qualities during both day and night conditions, and also show you the number plate readability comparison between these two cameras. You're not going to find this kind of a comparison anywhere else on YouTube. So by the time you finish watching this video, you will have the complete knowledge and the information to decide should you save money and go with the Qubo, or should you spend a little bit more and get the A510. You're watching Travel Tech. Let's get started. So straight away coming on to the number plate readability at a close range. Now this is during night time and the car in front is about a distance of 10 to 15 feet away, and on top you can see the A510, on the bottom is the Qubo 3K. Now this is where things come into a realistic difference, because the A510 has a Starvis 2 and the Qubo 3K does not. So what's the change and what's the advantage Starvis 2 brings in this kind of a situation? Let's take a look. So this is not even a competition. Starvis 2 wins this hands down with a clear-cut number plate readability, whereas in the Qubo 3K you get a complete whitewashed look. So this is why I always stress and I always emphasize the importance of having a Starvis 2 sensor in your dash cam, because when you face a situation where you had to read the number plates during night time, nothing comes close to what the Starvis 2 sensor can do for you. So moving on to the next sample, here I want to emphasize on three different aspects. You can see the two cars in front, one on the right and one on the left. Well, both are similar in color, but do look at the car on the right and its number plate. Then following it, look at the number plate of the car in the left. Now do note that the car in the left is not under the glare of my headlight, but the car in the right side is under the glare of my headlights. And thirdly, look at the signboard, the bright LED lit signboard of a shop which is at the far left of this particular image. Now if we move in, or if we zoom in to take a closer look at these three aspects, you can straight away notice that the car on the right, on whom my headlight glare is completely focused on, in the Qubo 3K sample, as shown in the previous example, it's a complete whitewash. Of course, you can read the number plate in the 70mai A510 sample because it has the Starvis 2 sensor giving you a very good image of the number plate, and you can more or less make it out completely. Move on to the next aspect, the car on the left. Now in this case, the headlights of my car are not falling on the number plate of this particular car, and because of this particular reason, both in Qubo 3K and A510 you can more or less make out the number plate, but the A510 gives out a more sharper and a better contrast image, and the Qubo 3K has a level of higher exposure in this particular number plate as well. So this is an important point to note. What you need to understand is that Starvis 2 performs really well when the number plates are under the glare of headlights. So if the number plates are not under the glare, even a non-Starvis 2 camera can more or less catch it. But what about the signboards, the bright LED lit signboards which we see all the time all around us when we drive around at night? Now they do serve as an important way of establishing the exact location of the car. So this is the important aspect which you need to look at. So in the sample of the A510, you can clearly make out each letter of that LED signboard. It says Cycle World. You can make out those letters CYCLE. But in the Qubo 3K sample, the whole LED signboard is whitewashed. You cannot make out independent individual letters, just as in case of the car on the right side of this image, it's a complete whitewash. So this is where the Starvis 2 sensor also shines. Not only does it read, or not only does it give you a very good number plate readability under the glare of headlights, it also gives you a very good read of the LED signboards during nighttime, and you will be able to clearly make out the names and the letters written in the signboard, which can help you in pointing out the exact location of your car. So it's safe to say that a Starvis 2 camera has multiple advantages over other cameras which do not get a Starvis 2 sensor. Moving on to the daytime number plate readability. Now I can see the Maruti Swift, which is pretty close to my car, about less than 10 feet or more. And if we zoom in on the number plate from both cameras, a pretty much similar image. Since both cameras carry a similar resolution and a similar frame rate, I'm not highly surprised that the image looks more or less the same. And now in both these samples you do see some grainy appearance, and that is because of the dashboard reflection, and that's not actually the noise from the image. But the good thing is that A510 comes with a CPL filter as an additional accessory, and if you do purchase and install this, you can get rid of that glare in the A510 but not in the Qubo 3K. Moving on to the next sample where the car is a bit more further away, about a distance of 15 to 20 feet away, and if you zoom in on its number plate, again a very similar image. The Qubo 3K gives out a warmer tone, whereas the A510 gives off a more natural and a neutral tone. In terms of the number plate readability, it looks pretty much the same and there's no drastic difference in this particular situation. Moving on to the overall video quality comparison. Now I pointed out all the detailed technical specifications. Do note that the Qubo 3K carries a lesser bitrate and a lesser file size, whereas the Starvis 2 powered A510 has a higher bitrate and a higher file size. Now straight away when you look at this, Qubo 3K does seem to offer better contrast, but in terms of giving you a sharp image and a more natural saturation levels, the A510 really excels. The overall video quality does look more realistic in the A510 compared to the Qubo 3K is what I feel, because the time at which I shot this video was during afternoon around 12 to 1 o'clock in the noon, and in the Qubo 3K sample it looks like this has been shot in the evening time, whereas in the A510 it accurately represents the color tone and temperature during that time of the day. Moving on to the rear camera video quality comparison from both these cameras. Now in this, the A510 seems to offer a better contrast and a more natural looking saturation and brightness levels compared to the Qubo 3K, which gives more of a softer image with a bit more warmer tone and a higher brightness levels compared to the A510 rear camera sample. Both are pretty much usable for evidence-based purposes, but the kind of video quality from the A510 is slightly better. Moving to the nighttime rear camera video quality, take a look at this. The glare of the headlights being caught in this video sample does seem to be a tad bit higher in the Qubo 3K rear camera compared to the A510, and that's why I've paused the video at this point so you can take a closer look at the amount of glare which you're getting from the headlights. That being said, when you straight away take a look at this video quality comparison, you don't see any drastic difference between the video quality, and the quality difference might be very minor and not as much visible or evident to the naked eye. Both look pretty much the same during night time, and there's nothing major to be concerned about or worried about in terms of the night video quality from both cameras. Again, in terms of the technical specifications, the rear camera from the A510 has a tad bit higher bitrate and a file size compared to the Qubo 3K rear camera. The video quality from both the rear cameras during night time looks pretty much similar, and I wouldn't be able to say that one camera is better than the other in this particular aspect. So this was the real world performance comparison, the practical video quality comparison along with the number plate readability of both these cameras, wherein the Qubo 3K gets the Sony Starvis IMX335 sensor, the 70mai A510 gets the upgraded Starvis 2 IMX675 sensor. Now it's clear to say that the IMX675, the upgraded version of the previous Starvis sensor, is definitely worth the upgrade and gives you much better range and much better video quality in terms of getting that perfect number plate readability at night. So it doesn't really make sense to go with the older generation Starvis cameras, especially in the year 2024, wherein there are so many Starvis 2 options present already out there for almost all budget ranges. Also, for the fact that the 70mai A510 gets additional accessories such as the CPL filter and the Hardwire Kit, make it probably a bit more value for money dashcam compared to the Qubo, wherein it doesn't get any additional accessories. So in any case, if you're interested in purchasing any of these two dashcams, the links to purchase it is provided in the description below. So just head down, click on the description and purchase the dashcam which you think is the best one for your everyday use. And in case if you still have any queries or doubts regarding any of these cameras, you can always write that down in the comments. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. So I hope this comparison video has cleared your doubts and cleared your confusion regarding which of these two cameras is the best one to go with. And in case if it did, make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now and smash that like button. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you get notified each time I upload a new video. Also, don't forget to follow me on my Facebook, Insta and the WhatsApp page. The links to those are given in the description as well. Many more interesting videos and comparison videos will be coming up in the future as well. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.